All right, so this is recording. Okay, hi. Um, this is again an attempt. This is not going to be very good. It's not going to be edited. I don't care. This is just really like baby steps with this stuff. Picture me doing this, but like wandering around my apartment with nobody hearing it. I don't usually do this sitting down staring at a camera. Uh, I talk, I babble incessantly. Nobody ever hears it. I'm horrified at the thought anybody's going to hear it. Uh, but things have, like, just try it the other way. So I am going to record it. I'm going to try to keep this brief. This could go on for 30 minutes. I'm going to try to stay on point here. It's not going to be the only video. That's the point, is it not like one video and build up to it and make it absolutely perfect, but do a whole lot of this crap, and then it'll get better over time, but do a lot of it. Or just maybe not a lot of it, but whatever. You see, I can't stay on point. All right, so what I could say is that I generally like memorizing big lists of things, as I live in my brain all the time. And I was about 11 years old. It wasn't really until I was about 11 like my interest in sports really hit. I started following all the teams, and I learned all the NBA teams and the NHL, MLB, NFL teams, all the pro teams, and I can still rattle them off. It was like 32 NFL teams, and 30 Major League Baseball teams. And I started learning all the college teams, the SEC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, the Pac-12, rest in peace, and the ACC, and the mascots, even like the MAC and the Big East, and like later the American, like the Mountain West, whatever, the Utah Utes and the Akron Zips, and the Cincinnati Bearcats and everything. Okay. And then I saw a commercial, 2003, that was when like the first version of cell phones. It was like a text service that would show you score updates, and it was like you were celebrating with the fans of your team. Wherever you are, you can see score updates, when it was like there was basically no graphics on the screen. But instead, I think it was something they were using in multiple countries, whoever was doing this, because they advertised it as the person was a Manchester United supporter, which they didn't go with like, this is a Cowboys fan or this is a Celtics fan, whatever. They went Manchester United, and I was like, oh wait, that's like a soccer team. That's like that's like Manchester in England. Okay. Well, wait a minute. I wonder what. So everybody else loves soccer like massively, especially in England. I knew that. I'd watched a couple of World Cups by that point, and I thought, well, they must have like a pro league. What are the top soccer teams? So Manchester United's probably one of them. I probably didn't even know David Beckham played for Man United. We'd heard of him, but he was like the guy that Posh Spice was married to. Um, Keira Knightley movie, Bend It Like Beckham, whatever. And so I just kind of Googled, uh, like English soccer teams, and I found the Premier League, which wasn't even being broadcast really here yet. ESPN wasn't, they were doing like Champions League matches, but not the Premier League, I don't think. Let alone like NBCSN didn't even exist as a channel yet. And so I started, I got up a map of England. Like I took, like Google Maps, and, actually, I mean, it would have been Yahoo Maps at the time, but, I pull up, I'm just sitting down in my apartment in Auburn, instead of doing like engineering stuff, which is what I was there to do, supposedly. And I did just enough to, get the degree, but this is what I was actually doing, was stuff like this. I would just, pull up a map of England and pull up the Premier League and started looking for teams. Okay, so All right, Newcastle was one of them. Sunderland, okay. Middlesbrough were there. Leeds United, okay. And I'm looking. There's a West Brom. Is that like Bromley in London? No, wait a minute. It's over here, West Bromwich. Okay, Birmingham, whatever. And then Aston Villa is over here in Birmingham, whatever. And that started, well, that's not it. It was like 20 clubs. And I thought the distribution was a little bit odd. Like there weren't any clubs in Sheffield and some of the bigger towns. And then they were seemed to be clustered in various places. And then I found the two magic words that unlocked all of this: promotion and relegation. And I went, wait a minute. So it changes every year. And you have to relearn the teams every year. So for someone who loves memorizing things, that's the problem with, like, once you know all the NFL teams, they've been the same teams for 20 years. Like the last team to get added was the Houston Texans. It's been the same 32 teams for 20. Once you know it, you know it. You might have to update it and say, like, the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, or like the Sonics left Seattle and went to Oklahoma City in the NBA, or the Expos left Montreal and went to DC. But other than that, you're pretty much done. Here, it's different every year. Like West Ham gets relegated, West Brom, Sunderland, then they replace them with Portsmouth and Leicester City and Wolverhampton, which is what happened in 2003. And then I started looking, and there's like 24 more teams. It's like tiers. And so Sunderland, West Ham, and West Brom go down to the next tier down, which is the Football League. And it's the Championship in League One and League Two. And so I started, well, how many of these teams can I remember? Okay, so I start learning about like Peterborough United and Norwich City and Ipswich Town and Colchester United and Luton Town and Stevenage, right there, and Northampton Town, Coventry City, Walsall, Stoke City and Port Vale are up in this area. And I started learning, and every year, right now I can tell you all 20 clubs that are currently right now in the Premier League: Brentford and Ipswich and Brighton and Nottingham Forest. And then all the championship clubs, there's 24 of those, and there's 24 clubs in League One, then there's 24 different clubs in League Two. It's 92 total. But it keeps going. There's non-league, meaning non-football league. And there are like semi-professional clubs below that. And it's clubs like, and for a while I couldn't get that one, but I hit some kind of like, I don't know, warp drive or something. And now I can like remember even like 24 clubs in the 5th tier of English football. And even then, I started looking more recently, or like Hartlepool United there, or York City. Where's York? York City. But then it keeps going, and it splits. There's like, actually, hold on. Let me, yeah, I know Jimmy Wales. I know. See, this is where this needs to be edited, and I'm too lazy to do it. Then maybe at some point I'll start editing stuff. Yeah, here we go. The league system. They really need money, guys. Give to Wikipedia, because I don't feel like doing it this time. I usually do, and then they come back in a few months and they need more of it. I don't know. So it gets so bad that this is like the 9th tier, or step 5. There's over 300 clubs. It just gets bigger and bigger. Eventually it tails off at like the 15th, 16th tier, depending on where you are in England. But it gets super local. And like here we go. Okay, so the Championship, League 2, National League North, National League South. 6th tier is 2 parallel divisions of 24 clubs. And then seventh tier is 4 divisions, 88 clubs total. Then there's 100. Actually, they just, for this season, they expanded the eighth tier even further. It was 20 clubs in 8 divisions. This year, it's 20. Technically, it's 21. There's one club in the seventh tier folded, and it kind of shook out that they're one short in the eighth tier. It's supposed to be 176 this year. This is what I do instead of, being out in social, whatever. And I'm not even going to get into like the cup competitions, which is a whole other thing entirely. It's like Raj Bennett of Men in Blazers would say, it's wheels within wheels. And this is absolutely the part of my brain that like lights up and goes, oh, give me more of this. Okay, so the last couple seasons, I started getting, okay, well, now what happened? What would happen if I were to take like the top 8 tiers, like 300, 400 clubs, and I group them by county, like which clubs are in Derbyshire, Leicestershire, Norfolk, Suffolk, Dorset, Somerset, all the English counties, Northumberland, Cumbria, and it looks like this. Yep, this is the kind of thing that I do. Here they are. This is what I do. By the way, that's the most recent population estimate because I can't have enough information in here. Like Warwickshire, and it's Warwickshire, not Warwick. It's Warwick. Worcestershire, Kidderminster Harriers, Alvechurch, Redditch United, Norwich City, Kingsland Town, Needham Market, Peterborough Sports, St. Ives Town, and Cambridgeshire, Luton Town, Biggleswade. I'm not sure what the goofiest town name is. It's either Biggleswade or it's Dorking in Surrey. There's a town in Surrey called Dorking. Seriously. Anyway, Woking, which seems like it's. I remember trying to read War of the Worlds years ago, and something happens in Woking, and it just looks like they're misspelling working. But anyway. I can't believe I'm recording this. This has probably already gone on too long. I don't know. I promise you, this could go on for another hour. I am absolutely obsessed with this stuff. I have more to show you. That's the entire list. You see how big it is in London. A crap load of London clubs, including 7 Premier League clubs all at once, which is out of 20 of them. Okay, so there's that. And I found a page that, like, you can draw radius circles on a map. And so, well, what if I took, I started drawing circles on a map for, like, and then, like, progressively smaller circles by whichever tier they're in. And, like put it out, like what would be the distribution of all the clubs? Well, it looks like this. And then you kind of stitch it together, and yeah, that's there it is. Are you worried about me yet? I don't know. Including there's a club in Guernsey down in the Channel Islands. Yeah, the Welsh clubs there. There's Wrexham. If you watch Hulu, if you got Hulu, which I don't, but they've got Welcome to Wrexham. That's them. Then I got bored and I was like, well, let me group together all the team, because you start looking at Wikipedia for like all these teams and trying to figure out what their home grounds are so you know exactly, because sometimes they ground share with another club. So I want to be as precise as possible. And I just thought, I wonder what the logos would all look like together. For the hell of it, I just created an image file, and let's see. So here's the here's the National League teams. There's Gateshead, Hartlepool, York City, FC Halifax, FC Fylde, Tamworth, Solihull, Aldershot Town, Ebbsfleet, Braintree, Southend. But why stop at just that one? You could do the National League South. There's all 24. Now you see Hemel Hempstead. That's maybe my favorite. It's just Henry VIII. It's pretty cool. There's Dorking, like I said, Eastbourne Borough, Weston Supermare, John Cleese's hometown. Truro City, which is in Cornwall. Chelmsford City, Slough Town, that's where the original version of The Office is set, Warnham Hogg. It's the Slough branch. David Brent and Tim and Gareth and Don and all of that. And, then you get the National League North. You get Hereford FC, Alfreton Town, Buxton, Chester, Southport Marine, South Shields, Needham Market, Leamington, Brackley Town. But hey, why not go to the 7th tier? Why not do another 88 clubs? Let's do the Isthmian Premier. All right, this is mostly clubs around London, Essex, Kent, Sussex. You got Hendon, you got Potters Bar Town, Dover Athletic, Hastings United, Whitehawk with the lion. That's Hastings, as in Battle of Hastings. BRT, it's Bognor Regis Town, Carshalton Athletic, Dulwich Hamlet, and you've also got you got the Northern Premier League. That's the Northern clubs at the 7th tier: Hyde United, Macclesfield, Leek Town, Prescott Cables, Whitby Town, Stockton Town, Mickle over Mallock Town, and you got the mostly Midlands clubs. And by the way, while I'm at it, if I was going to make like a hipster choice for a club to support, that seems like a pretty good one, because Stratford Town, like their nickname is actually the Bards, because they know who they are. They know who came from Stratford. The guy that we still claim to this day wrote all of those plays in the 15 and 1600s, even though there's no way some random dude named William Shakespeare from Stratford-on-Avon just moved to London and wrote the most... I'm starting to believe, by the way, that, the stuff about... It was like a pen name and other people were writing the plays, and there wasn't a William... There was a guy named William Shakespeare, but he didn't write all those plays. But that's a whole other thing. But Stratford Town seems like a pretty good... Not to mention the fact, look at the color scheme. That's the best color scheme possible, orange and blue. I mean, you can't improve on that, as we all know. So, I mean, it's perfect. I need to get a Stratford Town shirt. Although Banbury United is pretty good. Hitchin Town... I know little obscure stuff, like Hitchin Town got relegated last season. They should have been in the 8th tier, but there's a club in Leicestershire called Colville Town whose chairman can't fund the club anymore, so they had to drop out this season. So they put Hitchin Town back in the 7th tier, and that's why the 8th tier is one club short this season. Sudbury, Leiston, and then one more. This is the Southwest. This is the West Country, Somerset, Dorset, and Devon. Over there near Bristol. I don't know, just think Hot Fuzz. If you ever seen Hot Fuzz, the accent that they all have around Sanford, that's that part of England. Dorchester Town, Poole Town, and Havant, Waterlooville, Gosport Borough. If you've been following this stuff for 15 years, there was an FA Cup match back in 2007 or whatever, where Liverpool got drawn, big Liverpool FC got drawn against Havant Waterlooville, and Havant Waterlooville, and at Anfield, at Liverpool's home ground, this little club from way outside the top levels actually had a 2-1 lead on Liverpool at one point in the match. Liverpool ended up winning it 4-2, but it was and you don't forget a name, Havant and Waterlooville. What a name. Only in England would you have names like that. Gloucester City, Merthyr Town, Tiverton Town, Taunton Town. Anyway, so that's the kind of stuff that I do. Okay? And I mean, I am obsessed with these. There's other WordPad files. I have a very strong relationship with WordPad. That Microsoft tried to kill a couple weeks ago with the Windows 11 update, and all of a sudden my WordPad files were Word files, and you have to pay for Word. I don't like Word anyway. I thought, where's WordPad? Well, they just got rid of it. What do you mean they just got rid of it? But see, I have my older PC here, and it hasn't been updated. It's still got WordPad. So I took the WordPad files from that, put them on Google Drive, switch them over to the PC. That's one of the few times people get pissed at Microsoft. I just go along with it. That's one of the times where they actually pissed me off. Like, what do you mean you just took WordPad away? No, they didn't. I put it back. Okay. I need WordPad. All right. I'm not even showing you all the WordPad files. There's some of them that are even more ridiculous than this. But anyway, I don't even know how long this video is, but there's going to be more videos like this. At some point, I'm going to post this to YouTube. I might not even do that right now.